So the second question we have to ask ourselves is, where am I positioned? I love how Jesus communicates this in Matthew 5. We look at verse 14 through 15, and he communicates it using the image of a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. And there's this encouragement we see, neither do the people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. And I think there's a very real tension when we begin to ask ourselves this question of where am I positioned? As I was beginning to prep this message, I was brought back to a story I found in a book from the author Bob Goff, and he talks about this painting that he wanted to buy. It was an expensive painting. It was an amazing painting. It was a rare painting. So he was saving up, and he went up to go buy this painting. And at the cashier spot, the cashier stops him and asks him this question: "Do you want the fake one?" And Bob Goff kind of steps back and goes, "What do you mean the fake one?" And the cashier begins to communicate with them. It's like, well, when people are buying these expensive paintings, a lot of times they like to have a fake one so that they can put up in their house just in case someone was to come over and, God forbid, knock it down or get some food on it, whatever that might be. And Bob Goff is listening to them. He goes, no, I'll take the real one. And I think there's a very real tension that we feel with this, because there is a real light that God wants to shine through the real you, but that can't happen through the fake you. You're probably going, Pastor Phil, what do you mean by that? I think there's a tension we have to put the real version of us in a safe spot, because we ask ourselves, well, what happens if I get hurt? What happens if I'm not affirmed? What happens if I'm not accepted? What happens if people don't respond in the way that I hope they respond? And instead we put up this fake, filtered version of ourselves, but then we begin to wonder, God, why can't you use me? Friends, if I could encourage you wherever you're watching here today, God can't move in a real way through the fake you. God cannot do that. And what we need to begin to do is take down the fake version of ourselves and begin to put up the real version, and you will begin to see the real God move in a real way in the world and the community around you. So you need to begin to ask yourself that question: where am I positioned? Am I positioned in a place of fear that's dictating whether I put the real version of me out there or a filtered fake version? Or am I trusting God enough to be the God that He says He is, to be the light that He has created me to be, and put that real version out and see God do a real work in the lives and the community around me?